Good morning, and welcome to Glare Control and Sunglasses. Today's webinar comes to you from the Wisconsin Council of the Blind and Visually Impaired. The Council is a private, not-for-profit, community-based organization. We provide services, advocate legislation, and educate the public. We have two sponsors for today's webinar, the MG&E Foundation and Endress Manufacturing. Today's speaker is Amy Werf. Amy is a certified low vision therapist. She has been with the Council since January of 2015. Amy works with clients to find ways to maximize their remaining vision using color, contrast, lighting, and magnification. Before the Council, Amy worked for the Veterans Administration with veterans who have visual impairments. She spent 13 years at the Edward Hines Jr. VA Hospital Blind Center in Hines, Illinois, and 6 years at the William S. Middleton VA Hospital Low Vision Clinic in Madison, Wisconsin.
Good morning. This is Amy Werf and our webinar on glare control and sunglasses. The topic of today's webinar is of interest to me because I have found that sometimes the simpler solutions, such as changing lighting or using a different colored background when taking medications, can be just as important as finding the right magnifier. So today we'll discuss tinted lenses, head coverings, and positioning. Let's start by talking about tinted glasses. These are sometimes referred to as filters, filter glasses, or sunglasses. The photo on this slide shows a woman wearing several pairs of sunglasses of different styles and colors. She is wearing 4 pairs of sunglasses stacked up over her forehead to demonstrate that you may need different sunglasses for different glare or lighting needs. The caption reads, "There is not one pair of sunglasses that will meet everyone's needs." It's important to state that every person responds to colored sunglasses differently, and there is not a one-size-fits-all pair of glasses. You should plan to take time to try different colors, different shades, and different styles. You may need one pair for a bright outdoor day, but that pair will be too dark for an overcast day that still feels glary. A light indoor shade would be helpful to make your eyes more comfortable on a bright enclosed porch or a bright dining hall at your residence. A balance needs to be reached between blocking enough light and glare to provide comfort for your eyes and not blocking so much that you cannot see obstacles as you move around. I'd like to start with some common terms first that you may have heard. Polarized lenses prevent the transmission of light that is reflected from a smooth surface, such as water, snow, or wet pavements, and creates glare. Transition lenses get darker or lighter depending on the level of sunlight and can be made with your prescription by your eye doctor. An anti-reflective coating eliminates reflections in glasses that can reduce contrast and clarity. They can keep light from reflecting off the back of your lens into your eyes. This particular problem can also be avoided by the most part by wearing a brimmed hat. Polycarbonate lenses have superior impact resistance. They are lightweight lenses, and they block both UVA and UVB rays, which we will talk about in a moment. An eye doctor can order polycarbonate lenses in your prescription glasses. Blue light causes the haze that you see in bright sunlight. There have been concerns expressed about blue light exposure and cell phones and tablets. This will be addressed in more detail in just a moment. Blue blocking lenses absorb the blue portion of the visible light spectrum. If you try on a pair of 100% blue blocker glasses, you will not see any blue at all. For this reason, it is not recommended that you drive with glasses that have 100% blue blocker lens. The blue blocker may make it difficult to see the colors of traffic light signals. Other colors are distorted as well. And when you take the blue blocker glasses off, colors may still be distorted for a time, but your eyes will adjust back to normal soon. The photo on the left of this slide shows the back of a person's head as they are sitting in front of a bright computer screen. The photo on the right shows a very bright cell phone screen. This leads us to the conversation about getting more detail about blue light. Eyeglasses that claim to filter blue light from our electronic devices have become very popular. Ads and articles claim that exposure to this blue light can cause a number of problems, ranging from dry eye to eye strain to sleep problems to macular degeneration. Now that's quite a range. However, the American Academy of Ophthalmology states flatly, quote, "There is no evidence that the kind or amount of light coming from computer screens is damaging to the eyes, and it does not recommend any special eyewear for computer use," end quote. Many of the claims about blue light are given by individual ophthalmologists or optometrists, but there has been no long-term or large-scale research on blue light's effect on the body. There is research suggesting, however, that blue light may positively affect memory, cognitive abilities, and mood. For people who have difficulty sleeping, however, evidence does suggest that the blue light from our screens may create more sleep disruption, as it can simulate daylight and keep our brain active and alert. Taking a break from your computer, tablet, or cell phone about 2 to 3 hours before bed is recommended. There are also features on our electronic devices that automatically dim the screen at a set time of night and brighten the screen back again in the morning. I'm just going to say generally on an iPhone, if you go to the settings menu, there's display and brightness, and you can adjust the brightness and also set a schedule there. Deeper into that settings menu under accessibility, there are a few places to change display or increase contrast or adjust the white point on your phone. For Android devices, it is a bit simpler. If you slide your finger down from the top of the screen to show the settings, you can drag that brightness slider with your finger to the level that is comfortable. And there are also apps to download to adjust brightness. But I do suggest using caution when adjusting brightness levels, though. If you turn the brightness all the way down, sometimes it can be difficult to see the screen well enough to brighten it back up again. Also, according to the American Academy of Ophthalmology, the amount of radiation coming from a computer has never been shown to cause any eye disease. The National Library of Medicine reprinted a study stating that no measurable UVA or UVB radiation comes from computer monitors. We are exposed to more blue light from the sun than from our computers. However, long hours staring at digital screens can cause eye strain. When you stare at the screen, you tend not to blink as much, and that can cause dry eyes. These symptoms come because of how we use our screens, not from anything projected by the screens. The Academy recommends using the 20-20-20 rule for more eye comfort. Every 20 minutes, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. The photo on this slide is a drawing of the detail of the 20-20-20 rule. A person is sitting at a computer monitor. To their right is a clock and the words 20-minute above it. One line leads to a plant across the room with the label 20 seconds, and another line leads to the plant with the label 20 feet. If you have low vision, try to break that down a little farther by taking a break every 10 minutes. And even though it seems odd to say, consciously remember to blink often when you are working on a computer or tablet. Letting your natural tears lubricate your eyes can reduce eye strain and fatigue. You also might want to consider setting a timer on your phone or a smart speaker to remind you to take an eye break and blink and let your eyes relax while reading. So let's turn our attention to how light can change what we can see. The photo on the slide shows a sidewalk, stop sign, and street crossing in bright sunshine. Shadows are visible across the sidewalk and across the street. The photo demonstrates how light changes just by walking down the sidewalk, When you walk under trees and get mottled light, this may be confusing if you have low vision. You may think there is an obstacle or break on the sidewalk, but it is just a shadow. When you walk out from under the shadow of the tree, you might be back into bright sunlight with reflected glare from the sidewalk, and that will affect your vision. So why should you care about managing glare? One of the first reasons to care about wearing sunglasses is as simple as comfort. Bright sunlight or glare can make your eyes uncomfortable or cause pain. Keep in mind, if sensitivity to glare is very new or seems much worse than it used to be, or on the other hand, you feel that you can never get enough light to see properly, please speak with your eye doctor soon. The changes may be of no concern, but there might be a change in your eye health that the doctor needs to address. Another important reason to wear sunglasses is to protect your eyes from harmful rays from the sun. This slide shows a diagram of the sun with rays coming out labeled UVA, UVB, and UVC. The labels state that the UVC rays are the shortest from the sun and generally do not get through the ozone layer. UVB rays are longer that reach us and can cause tanning, burning, and signs of aging. UVA rays are even longer and can penetrate deep into our skin, creating changes in our DNA that can result in skin cancer. Most of the natural ultraviolet light that people encounter comes from the sun. Unprotected, prolonged exposure to UV light can also cause damage to your eyelids, cornea, lens, and retina. Your cornea absorbs all UVB and most of the UVA. Over time, however, the UVA that gets through the cornea can damage your lens and retina. So you do want to be sure your sunglasses have a label stating that they are 100% UVA and UVB protective. Prolonged exposure to ultraviolet light is a risk factor for developing cataracts and for macular degeneration. The National Eye Institute estimates 20% of cases of cataracts are due to extended UV exposure. The Food and Drug Administration does not set standards for how much protection is offered in sunglasses, but they do regulate whether companies adhere to the claims made on labels. The label on the sunglasses you buy should state 99 to 100% UV protection, or 99 to 100% UVA and UVB protection, or UV 400. If the label does not state UV protection, do not buy those sunglasses. You also don't need to purchase the most expensive pair of sunglasses either, as reasonably priced sunglasses can offer good UV protection. UV radiation is present year-round, even on overcast days, so you do need the protection any time of the year when you're outside. The photo in this slide shows a side entrance to a building that is all in shadow, with the rest of the sidewalk in full sun. Can you think why this might be a difficult environment? Bright light can make it difficult to see steps and curbs. Stepping out of a dark building onto a bright sidewalk may make you feel uncertain where to take your next step, which could lead to a stumble or fall. Coming from a bright day into a dimly lit reception area can also lead to disorientation. If you have a visual impairment and don't wear sunglasses, it may take anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes for your eyes to adjust to changes in lighting. So what should you consider in this case? If you have transition lenses in your prescription glasses, do these change fast enough when coming in and going out into the sun? If you have a pair of prescription sunglasses, can you safely stand at the entrance and switch those out with your other glasses? Sunglasses that fit over your prescription glasses are generally easier and faster to get into place. Do remember to keep your sunglasses on when you get out of the car, so you have them handy when walking in a parking lot or on the sidewalk or heading back out of the store or building that you are in. Think about keeping a second set of sunglasses in the car in case you forget a pair in the house. If you don't have your sunglasses with you and you come out of a building and the light is quite bright and causing you to squint, just step away from the side of the door and allow time for your eyes to adjust as much as possible to the light. Take your time on steps and use a handrail if possible to safely navigate to the sidewalk. The photos on this slide show an entrance to a restaurant and coffee shop. The picture on the left demonstrates how the lighting changes as you enter the door and proceed up the stairs. There is a bright patch of sunlight reflected on the steps, but it's only reflected on half of the steps. The other half is in dark shadow. The landing is in shadow, and there is actually another set of stairs farther ahead, although this is pretty difficult to see due to the changes in lighting. The picture on the right shows the same entrance but on the way out. You need to walk through a pool of bright light into a dark shadowed area at the bottom of the steps right by the door. And could this be concealing another step? It's very hard to tell. And then bright sunshine is coming in through the window that you know you're going to be heading out into. When this picture was taken, a gentleman came into the building who was wearing very dark sunglasses. He was cautious coming up the stairs, but it was clear that he was not really able to see the steps and was kind of feeling his way. One solution for him would have been to remove his dark sunglasses as soon as he came into the building, unless he had another reason for keeping them on. He proceeded up the steps carefully and used the handrail. He felt forward with his foot on each step to make sure he had a good idea where he was. This slide shows a basic diagram of different colored tints and suggested uses. Please keep in mind that these are just suggestions, as you may experience colors differently. Tints filter light in different ways, and some do a better job than others. Some tints enhance colors, but some distort colors. In general, here are the colors and suggested uses. Gray, to reduce brightness and glare. They're good for driving and outdoor sports. Amber or brown block blue light. They brighten vision on cloudy days and enhance contrast and depth perception, and also are good for outdoor sports. Green filters some blue light and reduces glare, also reduces eye strain. Yellow or orange block blue light, increase contrast in hazy, foggy, or low light conditions, enhance depth perception, and are particularly good for snow activities and indoor use. And rose red block blue light, help with visibility when driving, reduce glare and strain from computers, and also may assist with relieving migraine symptoms. Keep in mind that each of the colors can come in different levels of darkness or shades. For instance, there is a very light amber, a medium amber, and a dark amber, and all of the colors will have different levels of brightness. The photo on this slide shows examples of some of the sunglasses and tints available from the Council's Sharper Vision store. Some eye conditions can increase your sensitivity to light. Macular degeneration, glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, or cataracts may cause your eyes to become more sensitive to lighting changes. If you have had cataract surgery, you were given a pair of very dark sunglasses to wear during the recovery process. These glasses are too dark to continue to wear for daily use, though. Once you have recovered from the cataract surgery, it's time to investigate a new sunglass tint to provide relief for your eyes. Council staff are available to assist you in finding sunglasses that you are more comfortable with. Our Sharper Vision store has many options if you would like to stop in. Staff could speak with you about setting up an appointment to try different colored lenses if you want to take your time and explore the colors in a different environment or even at your home. Many sporting goods stores, optical shops, and big box stores, such as Target, Walgreens, and even Farm and Fleet, offer a variety of styles and colors. And when you are choosing colored sunglasses, do try to get to a window at the store that has natural light coming in, so you can experience how the color of the tint affects your eyes. Try to look out at bright areas through the window, for example, at the bright patch of sun on a car or on a sign. If you come to the council to try the sunglasses, we encourage you to step outside with the glasses to have the most effective experience. Move around a store to experience how you see as the light overhead changes. Do the frames fit comfortably, especially if they are fitting over a pair of prescription glasses? Do you like having a shield on the side of your glasses, or does that make you feel boxed in? There's many different choices and options to consider. A well-fitting frame for sunglasses will fit fairly snugly to your head. There could be a top shelf or ledge that blocks light from overhead. There might be thicker arms that will block the sun coming in from the sides. If you wear glasses, there are sunglasses that fit over those prescription glasses. Again, you might choose just to get a second pair of prescription glasses that have that tint built in. But you can get fit over sunglasses much cheaper than a second pair of sunglasses with your prescription in it. Clip-on sunglasses are also available, although most of these do not come with the side shields. The photos on this slide are of two men who are wearing different styles and shades of sunglasses. Just because sunglasses are dark does not mean they offer more protection. Any color, as long as the label states 99 to 100% UV protection, will protect your eyes. The color and depth of that color is a much more personal choice and dependent on where you want to use the glasses. The darker the lens, the harder it might be to see clearly, especially for those who have macular degeneration. People with macular degeneration have reduced contrast vision. Seeing steps and curves can be a problem. Darker sunglasses reduce light and can make it harder to move about and see obstacles or details. However, if you are extremely light sensitive, you may end up choosing the darker shade to feel more relief. Again, the message really is to be patient and explore the options. Don't assume that you only have one or two choices. The man in the picture on this slide has the right idea for protecting his eyes from the sun. He is wearing a wide-brimmed straw hat and a pair of sunglasses. A hat paired with sunglasses can provide the right amount of coverage on bright days. Even if you wear sunglasses that wrap around and fit snugly to your face, the addition of a hat can give better protection from the sun. Wearing a hat and sunglasses can reduce your exposure to UV rays by 30%. The woman in this photo is enjoying a bright Wisconsin day. In the photo on the left, she is only wearing sunglasses. She is protected from the sun, but is still squinting due to the extreme brightness of the day. The photo on the right shows that the hat she is wearing is casting a shadow across her face. She is no longer squinting behind the sunglasses, which indicates how well the hat is protecting her eyes in addition to those sunglasses. This slide shows one more photo of a man wearing both a hat and sunglasses. Some of the places you shop or have an appointment are too brightly lit inside. Harsh fluorescent lighting overhead can create issues with glare and decrease your ability to see things clearly. Wearing a hat inside might be a good solution to block glare from overhead lights. Finding a light pair of sunglasses, perhaps in a light yellow or light amber or even a light plum, can reduce glare and increase contrast to help you move about more confidently and comfortably. Think over the places you go and consider what kind of lighting is provided. Are the hallways too dim or overbright? Does a dining hall or recreation room have great windows to enjoy the scenery, but also let in sunlight that causes you problems? Positioning yourself in a different part of the room away from the windows or sitting with your back to the windows so that the sun is not glaring right in your face could be a solution. If you play cards with a group, how is the lighting at the table? A portable lamp could be helpful to provide better lighting on the game or cards. Now we'll move on to discuss indoor lighting and positioning. Your living room may not seem like there is enough light to see properly. In this photo, we see a man sitting on a couch and reading a book. A lamp is off to the side about 1.5 feet away. The lamp does not have a flexible arm to position the light closer to the book. The shade is giving off a yellow glow. The light from the lamp is scattering around the table, up the wall, and around the room. There is no direct light on this book. It's a decorative lamp, but not one that is very functional for reading. A gooseneck or flexible neck lamp would allow the man to pull the light closer to his book to gain the most benefit from it. The photo on this slide shows a woman using a lamp that I have commonly seen in homes that people buy to help bring light to their reading material. The light is very bright and seems to give the woman plenty of illumination for reading. However, the light is sitting directly over her head towards her right side. The light could be causing glare in her eyes, which will make her eyes tire more easily. This style of lamp does not have as much adjustment as we would prefer. It cannot angle down much lower than it is and will always sit right around forehead height. Ideally, the lamp would be tilted away from her face and would have a more flexible gooseneck to allow the woman to place the lamp between her face and her reading material. In that position, the light would not be shining right across her face. You see the difference in this slide? The lamp has a solid shade and a flexible arm. The light is directed right at the newspaper, gaining the most benefit from it. The light is not shining in the man's face, which could possibly create discomfort. There are many sources for lamps with gooseneck or flexible arms. You can find them in floor style, tabletop, and clamp-on. Popular big box stores, large hardware stores, as well as the Council Sharper Vision store all have a variety of lamps on display. Many styles are available online as well, but do be sure to read the reviews of those lamps to assist you in choosing a lamp that has been quality tested by others. Take time at the store to look at the display lamp if one is available to ensure the shade can be lowered below your eye height when you are sitting in a chair. A solid shade on the lamp will prevent the light from shining across your face. Don't worry as much about wattage, as you can experiment with different styles of light bulbs to find what works best for you. Be sure to buy the wattage recommended by the lamp manufacturer. Historically, we have all usually purchased those soft white bulbs, but these can be a little yellow and not provide enough clarity for seeing detail. A daylight bulb simulates daylight and has a whiter appearance, but you do need to find the kind of light bulb you're comfortable with and experiment. And gives you the most benefits. LED bulbs are commonly available now, although they do cost more than the older incandescent bulbs. However, when you need the light to be close to your reading material, as the photo shows here, an LED light will be more comfortable. They remain cool, so you won't feel like you're getting a suntan when you're reading. And if you bump the shade when adjusting it, you won't feel the heat on your hand or face. When you work on paying bills or taking your medications, you may struggle to find enough light to help you see the details that you need. The photo on the left shows indirect, yellow-tinted room light on a work area with a checkbook, pen, a bill, and some envelopes. There's a shadow across the checkbook from the pen, and the details all seem a little soft. The photo on the right shows the same objects and demonstrates how the addition of a task light with a white bulb, in this case a daylight bulb, makes the paperwork more distinct. Colors are crisp and the illumination is even across the papers. Pay attention to the positioning of your lamp when you're working or reading. Be prepared to move the lamp to different places around your chair until you find the right place for your needs. When reading in general, have the light come over the shoulder of your better seeing eye to give that eye the most benefit of the light. But do pay attention for any shadowing that could give you problems. The picture on the left in this slide demonstrates poor positioning of a lamp on that table where the checkbook and bills were located. The lamp is casting a shadow from the hand that makes it hard to see the lines on the check. The picture on the right demonstrates how moving the lamp to the other side of the work area, in this case on the opposite side of the dominant hand, clears up the shadows and creates a better work area. The lines on the check are no longer in shadow. So again, just be willing and able to move that lamp around and find where it works best for you. This slide and the next will show two kitchens. The lighting in these two kitchens demonstrate how glare can affect you in the home. The kitchen in this photo has every surface polished to a high gloss, and there is a lot of reflected light that could be uncomfortable. If you have a kitchen like this, using blinds on the window would help reduce glare. Don't polish the surfaces to such a high gloss. And you may even find that you would need to wear a light-colored pair of sunglasses to keep your eyes comfortable, such as a pale amber or a pale yellow. A matte finished cutting board would help with knife tasks on the island's counter. Placemats in a solid, contrasting color on the island would give a visual marker where you put your pillbox or your mail. The kitchen in this picture has a flat finish on the countertop and darker appliances. You would want to be sure that this kitchen had good under-cabinet lighting on cloudy days or the evenings, though. A kitchen environment with too little lighting can be just as frustrating to manage as one with too much lighting. So to sum up the conversation, glare control options and sunglasses are very individual choices. There is not one solution to all the places you experience glare and difficult lighting. Take time to explore different styles of sunglasses and consider the different places where you experience discomfort with lighting. Try different colors of sunglasses to see if you find relief. Hats and sunglasses combined will provide you with more relief from the sun. Consider wearing a light-colored filter inside if you are bothered by a bright room or a bright store. Explore different types of task-specific lamps at home and be aware of how to place the lamp to gain the most benefits. Please let the Wisconsin Council of the Blind and Visually Impaired know how we can assist. Stop in our store to look at the lamps and sunglasses options. And please do ask a staff member for more personalized help.
Hey, thank you, Amy. Just checking in to see now if you have any questions. So we'll take a few minutes just to see if any questions come in before we wrap up. We did get a question that did come in. And so Bernice is asking whether LED, or she's saying LED lights blind me. What are my options?
If these are LED lights that are at a store, think about wearing, again, either a hat or perhaps a light pair of colored sunglasses to help you move around. If you find the LED lights at home are really uncomfortable for you, the LED lights do now come in different shades, so you can get LEDs in that soft white or a cool white or warm white. There's a lot of options if you go to the hardware store and look around at the packaging. Some of the bigger hardware stores have the LED lights all set up next to each other so you can see the color differences in LED. And if you still have some incandescents, that might be the way to go also. I do know that there is also Reveal bulb, and that's the name on the package. For some people that find the LEDs are too bright, that Reveal is a nice option. So now your question was about fluorescent lighting. So again, I'm going to assume you probably mean at a store or a doctor's office. And when you're out and about in the community, those are harder situations to manage because you can't always prepare. But a light colored pair of glasses in a store, again, in that very light amber or a very light yellow can help cut that. Thinking about the sunglasses that have the little shelf across the top to protect your eyes from that light coming down around your other glasses, or even a visor. Nothing wrong with wearing a hat inside, especially at the grocery store with those lights that are screaming down on top of you. So the question came in, a lot of computer apps have light blue buttons with white letters, and you can't read any of them. Any ideas? Those are excellent questions. That gets into going into the computer settings. There are ways that we can go, some of the council staff could assist, or if you can go into, if you're a Google user, you can Google in the type of computer you have and look up some ways to adjust the contrast and color settings on your computer. Sometimes that can assist. Each of our computers generally has some accessibility options built in, and you can change those. Those are often called dialog boxes. You can change the colors on those dialog boxes. But every time Microsoft does an update, some of those changes end up in different places. The places that you can make those adjustments are different. So it does take patience to look through that computer, but don't be afraid to ask for assistance from someone from the council or a family member who might be a little more at ease going through the computer and looking at the settings. But you're absolutely right. Those are difficult. I'm just waiting to see if we'll have any other questions before we wrap up. And feel free to give us a phone call also here at the council if you think of questions later or you weren't able to ask questions at the end of this webinar. We're happy to help. Our store is located, that question just came up asking where our store is. It's at our office sites at the Wisconsin Council of the Blind and Visually Impaired. Our address is 754 Williamson Street in Madison. Our store is open from 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. On Thursdays, we're now staying open until 7. We do have a website, and our store products, many of our store products are listed on that website. And a new catalog will be coming out within the next year. But if you can't get here to Madison, to our location, we do have a web presence that you could take a look at the products that we have.
Okay, thanks, Amy. And for those of you who can't get to Madison, do feel free to call, and our front desk reception staff can direct your call to one of us. If you have a question about your particular computer, what kind it is, and where you might go in order to make some differences with your computer. And another comment, for those of you who have never gotten a hat or a visor, summer is a great time to get hats and visors because there's just a lot more of them out there and available, particularly those little more the golf type hat that can just looks okay when you're out and about. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and close up. And so first I'd like to thank Amy for presenting and giving her expertise in this informative webinar. I will send the slides as a handout along with the link for the archived webinar. And that way you can listen and you can also get a good review of the content. I should get the archiving done by the end of next week. Thanks again to our webinar sponsors, Endress Manufacturing and MG&E Foundation. And of course, my sincere gratitude to all of you for your interest in this topic and taking the time to attend the webinar. We just had another quick question here about whether or not baseball caps work, and baseball caps work wonderfully.